Good morning, I'm Tyler, the Smokeamame. Thanks for watching. Please excuse the mess, but before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's watched the first two videos and pushed the like button or subscribed and commented. It's really nice to hear from you and interact. And we have 20 subscribers now, which for me is really cool. I wanted to make a video updating the studio and make some upgrades so that it's easier and faster to make videos. And yeah, there was a bit of a disaster. So I just spent the last 7 or 8 hours trying to recover a day's worth of video because of this. I was able to recover some of the video to various degrees. Some is okay, some is a mess, some is completely disappeared, but I'm going to do my best to put it together and make a video out of it, because even though it didn't go as I expected, it's just a learning experience, so I'm going to get it out there and try again next time. The first thing that I had planned, and the video is lost, was a light stand. So I've been using a Manfrotto monopod as a light stand, and it worked, but a monopod is not a light stand, and I couldn't move it, I couldn't adjust it. In the first video it fell down, so I got a new light stand. Okay, I wasn't planning on re-recording this, but there's enough light, I think I can do it. Here's the basic light stand, and what I've found now actually is that suddenly it works. It was stuck before and I couldn't get the top part to go down, so it's one minor defect. It's small and compact, which is nice. We can open it up, and if we open it up like this, then it's supposed to reach to 192 centimeters, but it's really not stable. I don't want to put my lights on this thing. However, if we go down, then it becomes very reasonable. So main reason I bought this one is just because I like the colors, but it also does the job fairly well. Brand is Fosoto. I'll try to leave a link to all of these things in the description. After this, I'm also planning on recording the next printer video, so that should be ready soon. Overall, I'm pretty happy, and despite having lost 8 hours of the day trying to recover the video and finally not having the same video that I had hoped to, I'm thinking it's a pretty good turnout. So yeah, please enjoy what's left of the video. Thank you. So what I have going on here is basically Manfrotto monopod, which is a nice monopod, but a monopod is not a light stand. And I've got two quick clamps with some pieces of wood, and I've managed to clamp the monopod to the edge of the table, and then down at the bottom I've got it tied up here with string to give it a little bit of extra stability. And on top we have a Amaran 100X together with a Godox parabolic softbox, which is a fair amount of weight. It's not the lightest thing, so it tends to start to kind of tilt over slowly. And before I had some tape on there, and this works, but it's terrible. Okay, so let's just talk honestly here. Is this the most sturdy light stand you can get? Not exactly. We can see it moves around fairly easily. However, I'm not afraid that the light is going to fall down. So this stand is rated for 10 kilograms. My lights are not 10 kilograms, but probably about as heavy as most people are going to expect to have on a light stand in a smaller studio. If you're a professional, then you're going to have a little bit bigger lights, but this is pretty good, I think. However, now, the main problem is that down here, these legs are a little bit thin. So what we're having here is the legs are actually flexing. The main stand here is thick and strong. it's no problem. Just down here, these legs are bending under the weight. And this is something that we could probably fix by ourselves. So if we put a sandbag on it, it'll weigh it down and it shouldn't flex. Now I've got it up off the floor. There's a little bit of a gap here. If I put it down flat with maybe a piece of rubber underneath, then it's going to become a lot sturdier. And honestly, I'm not worried about it at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm thinking this is a pretty good upgrade. This is the Etsumi E6910. It's just a simple clamp on a little articulating parts, and it comes together with a GoPro connector. I don't need it at the moment, but it is kind of interesting. I could easily 3D print a second mount part to go into something else. This part's all metal, matches the light stand, the color. The clamp is got some rubber feet on it here, so when you go to clamp it to something, you could clamp it to flat board and it'll match the board shape. You can clamp it to something round and it'll match the shape. It's strong enough for what I want to do. I wouldn't put my DSLR on it or something, but for a microphone this is plenty enough. And the best part is that I can get flexibility to move it however I want. Also, I have this Hakuba. This is the brand name. It's just a small adapter. So for my microphone I need to go from 3/8 to 1/4 inch in order to be able to mount it to this. Let's get this microphone off of here and do the upgrade. So I'm using the VideoMic NTG, and the VideoMic NTG has a mounting point on the hot shoe. I'm just gonna keep on going. We can just use a coin. It's actually probably easier to use a coin, but I have a driver in my hand now. Just make that tight enough without over tightening it. And we'll attach this parts now. This looks pretty good to me. Yeah, this looks pretty good to me. So the great point is that we can attach to almost anything we want. I mean, even the coffee cup works. So it's really flexible. And at the moment, I'm going to use it for my microphone. But in the future, I'll probably use it for something else. I want to put the microphone up on the ceiling somehow. Here we have the finished product. I've got added onto it over here a nice black bottle to match the black design. And we have a little red ring to show how professional it is. This is acting as a counterweight, and we got the microphone positioned over here, working very well, directed right towards me how I want it. This is a little bit lightweight tripod, but it's what I have. And the microphone is a nice microphone. This setup is not so nice, but really we don't need such an expensive stand for a microphone, and it's okay to just use what you have if it works. Nice microphone is good for audio. We need to make the room a little bit better here so that the sound quality can improve. This cable is incredibly short, and it's actually not for the microphone. So what I have here is a Rode VC1. It's an extension cable, and I also have Rode SC7. This is a adapter cable for TRS connection to TRRS connection. And since I'm using a smartphone, my smartphone is expecting me to use a TRRS connection. So if I use just the standard VC1, it's not going to work inside my phone. And the last video, that's actually why I had an audio problem, because I had the wrong cable plugged in and I didn't check that it was working correctly or not. So we take this extension cable and then connect the TRS side to it. Then this will go into the microphone and this side will go into the smartphone and we'll be okay. We could also use the SC1 cable. It's a really long 6-meter cable for TRRS. But in order to use that cable, also you need this adapter, because the microphone is expecting to have a TRS signal put into it and then go to your phone. And if you don't use this adapter and you try to use the SC1 extension cable, you'll get this really annoying sound like I'm using this cable because it's a little bit more heavy duty. The SC1 is really thin, like really thin and cheap feeling, but it's 6 meters long, so it might be what you need. And that's it. A bunch of small upgrades that can hopefully help me to make videos a little bit easier and we get some new content out faster. The next video is already planned. I'm going to try to film it right after this one. And hopefully shortly after getting this one up, we'll get the second one on. The next video is going to be another 3D printer video. And I'll show you how to make things a little bit more silent regarding the Z motor. I really appreciate the comments you guys are leaving, likes and subscribes. So thank you very much for that. I'll leave links for everything inside the description. There will be affiliate links, so if you use the links to purchase something, it'll help me out a lot, and I'll really appreciate that too. Some of these things may be only available in Japan, maybe the light stand, for example. So I'll leave the links, and I'll try to find the same thing globally, or if not, I'll find something close to it. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. However, I'm not afraid that the light is going to fall down.